Well, hello and welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to have Lisa Robbins, the founder of Flourish Coaching, joining us today to help us understand the best ROI your high school student can get out of college. So Lisa, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Monica. It's great to be here.
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited because years ago I found Lisa. And if you recall, I am actually a college funding or financing expert. But there's really two pathways or roadmaps to college. One is funding. Yes, we have to be able to pay for it. But equally important is the academic roadmap. And Lisa truly has her heart set on the academic roadmap and the success for students. So Lisa, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got to do this and just share a little on you.
Absolutely. Thanks. So, I started my career as a high school teacher. I have a passion for working with students and their parents, supporting both on that college bound journey. So, I was a high school teacher. I did that for 8 years. And then I became an IEC, an independent educational consultant, focusing on that academic side of the college bound journey, which you and I have opposite sides of that same coin.
Mhm.
And I have been doing that for over 25 years. One of the things that happened in the early stages of that journey was that I was struggling a bit with creating the best college list for the students that I was supporting when we weren't beginning with the end in mind. And
Right.
so I also noticed that I had students, and this is back in the early 2000s, so it was quite a while ago. I had students who would get into college and they would change their major so many times that it was extending
Yes.
their time in college.
And the
And
cost.
yeah, and then now they're probably turning to you to go like, "Oh my gosh, we're out of money. How do we do this?"
Right.
So, I really set about figuring out how to better support students from the academic side of having that best college list and to increase the chances that when they walked across the stage at college graduation, not high school graduation, college
Right.
graduation,
Right.
that they would be out on their own and flourishing in their own lives, not moving back into their parents' basement, saddled with debt and
Right.
unemployed or underemployed. So really that's what I set my heart on doing, and that's what we figured out. And I did it professionally for all these years, but now my youngest just graduated from college and
Right.
she's out of our house, she's in her job, she's in a condo. So I personally
Wonderful.
know as a mom it can be done as well.
That's awesome. Well, I'm always measuring a return on investments for my clients in form of assets, right? So
Right.
their risk assets, the market, real estate, businesses. And I think college, it's wildly important to measure ROI, especially when we're spending 100 or 200 or even $300,000 on a college education. We want that to mean something. So I actually love how you've kind of flipped the college planning on its ear. Most students will do, what college do I want to go to? What will my degree be? Oh, now what will my career be? But you flip that around and you say, what do you want your career to be? Then we'll figure out the degree, then we'll pick the college. So tell me more about that process, which I just think is genius.
Well, thank you. You're right. A lot of kids, if you leave it up to a teenager, they're going to be
Oh,
thinking about like, what football games do I want to attend?
right. Right.
Weather, things like that, right? So, what we do is by beginning with the end in mind, we literally are reverse engineering that. So, what career is my hardwired personality wired for
Yes.
me to flourish in, right? And the world's lying to your teenager. They're saying, the world's your oyster. You can be anything.
Right.
And after coaching 4,000 teens and also
That's
supporting their
amazing.
parents, I can tell you that the world's your oyster. You can be anything is a lie. I know it's a lie for me personally, and
Yeah.
it only serves to overwhelm already anxious kids who
Mhm.
are not really prepared to just navigate the overwhelming, right? So what we do is
Right.
say instead of the overwhelming, we are going to give the Berkman Personality Assessment. We're going to
Okay.
funnel it down to a smaller list of, yes, several jobs, actually quite a few jobs that you're wired to do. Is saying your personality DNA looks like adults who are already working in these jobs over here and thriving and loving life. And you look nothing like the people who are working in these jobs and love it. So from there, we go through a 3-step process. We say, let's build self-awareness. That's around this hardwired personality. It's around our aptitudes, our natural aptitudes. What do we excel in? And maybe some limitations that we might have, right? So once we
Right.
build that self-awareness, then we move on to career awareness. Knowing the careers that are out there. Most kids only know that which they've been exposed to. If a kid
Oh,
ever
sure.
says to me like, "Oh, I might want to be an actuary," I'm thinking like they have a family member who's an actuary. There's
Right.
no teenager that knows what an actuary is, right?
Right.
So we build career awareness not only among the careers that they're wired to do, which we have a report that says, okay, here's what you should investigate. But now we say, okay, what do I need to know about these careers and how do I curate experiences so I really know what I'm getting into? And then finally, after we do all that work, it's figure out the path. And that is, where might I go to college? How am I
Sure.
going to pay for it? All of that good stuff. So it's about knowing yourself really well, knowing careers in order to know your path. 3-step process. Teens get out of overwhelm when you give them a clear
Yeah.
path to the finish line, really.
Right. And what I love so much about your process is, God created us all equally special. Like we're unique
Yes.
and fabulous in our own ways. And when we really are living out that uniqueness, right, that's where we find the most fulfillment, likely will be paid the highest. Again, I just think it's a really wonderful process that you offer. Now, Lisa, when would families begin to engage you with their high school students? So, kind of what's the right time to start this process with a student?
Absolutely. Great question. It can be too early. So I do want to lead with that. And it's never too late, right?
Okay, good.
Sometimes I'm doing this with people that are our age and are like, I was never happy in my career and I want to
Right,
spend these
right.
remaining working years doing something I absolutely love. So it's never too late, but it
Okay.
can be too early. I want high school freshmen to get their feet firmly planted in that high school experience. Figure
Right.
out how to get good grades because if you don't have the grades, you're not going to get into college anyway,
That's
right?
true. Yes.
And so you need to have the academics down so that you can do well on the ACT and the SAT where they're required. So no freshmen, no thank you. Okay. Even if they're mature. I have families that say, but my kid's really mature. And I'm like,
Right, right. Understood.
let them be a freshman. In my
Right.
utopian society that I've now made peace with will never exist. I would love for every sophomore to join
Okay.
us in this journey. So first or second semester sophomore, certainly no later than that first semester of junior year, but anytime really from January of when they're a sophomore up until the fall of their junior year is a great time because this isn't like a quick check the box. Oh, we took an assessment, we have the answer. It's a process, and
Okay.
we have to allow time for the process, right?
Right.
So now, if somebody's listening to this and they're like, oh, I have a senior and they're getting ready to submit applications, is it too late? No, it's not. You can go ahead and
Yeah.
submit those applications and continue to
Right.
do this work. I have a college student. It's not too late. So it's never too late. Ideally, I would love to have sophomores do this.
Awesome. Well, Lisa, I can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing this really important aspect of college, that beginning with the end in mind. I just love that philosophy so much because then we can build a much more successful plan.
Yes.
So your students are only in college 4 years, maybe five, instead of 6 or 7, because they can't figure out what it is they want to do when they grow up. So again, I'm just so grateful that you offer this service. Now, where can my viewers find you? Where, if they're interested in engaging you, where do we connect?
Absolutely. So we have a free video for your followers, Monica, and that can
Okay.
be found at, and I'm sure you'll give them the direct link, but it's
Absolutely.
Flourish. So flourishcoachingco.com/Monica. So when you head over there, we have a video that you can opt into that explains like what's at risk if we don't get some clarity here and how we can be successful and have certainty and informed choices that our teens are making before you go ahead and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on college.
Right.
So
Right.
once the video is free for anybody, and if then you're like, hey, we want to do this, on that same page as the video, you've got more information of how you can connect with us, and come on in and join us in the course. We've got a course called Launch Career Clarity, and we give live support for a solid year in helping families figure this out.
Awesome. Well, Lisa, thank you for everything that you do. We're so grateful. And if you like the content that you hear on this channel, please subscribe. You can also head over to my website, www.monicafelton.com. There's a wealth of education and information, and I'd love to see you there. So thank you all. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.